there were definitely plans to give it a serious kind of overhaul at the time. Ultimately, that redesign was rejected. So rather than a complete overhaul, it's going to be a long-term kind of like fix. It's just going to be patched, and it's going to be done gradually over time rather than a significant redesign. So that is different. We ended up doing a different thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was a serious redesign on the table, which almost kind of like, turned it into like a MOBA. But it was, I wasn't in the meeting which actually rejected it. But anyway, that approach, no. So now gradual change through increments. Oh, it would have been, yeah. And that was part of the problem. For some people, it was too far away from what they thought Warplanes needs to be. The bits about it that were interesting, everyone knows that Warplanes' biggest challenge is a lack of kind of like, mission variety. And without that, you don't get that sense of fun. We talk jokingly about where's the fun patch? Where's the patch that's just going to make it fun? We're aware of that. And so what appealed to us about this radical overhaul were these, hugely interesting, challenging, kind of like fun things. But the consensus in the end was it kind of broke its real-world historical roots and ended up doing something that ultimately it wasn't designed to do, and that was just too historically inaccurate for us to be comfortable with. So I think we're going to live with the fact that Warplanes is never going to be as big as ships, which is not going to be as big as tanks, but there's still a business to be done there. And we're doing things at the moment that are going to sort of like make the games more closely connected, so it should be easier for us to move people between the two. Because at the end of the day, even if it's not the most fun game, the planes themselves and the way they fly and the maps and the experience of flying around, have found an audience that like that. I'm in that audience. I actually prefer planes to ships, bizarrely. It's partly because my dad was Royal Air Force and I grew up, making models of Spitfires and Hurricanes. So I'm still back in that game. But there are definitely people that are playing tanks and ships who haven't played planes that would quite like it, if only because the planes themselves are accurate and well modelled and it's fun to fly them. So, yeah, that's what's happening with planes. But, we've now basically got a list of things that need to be improved or changed based on what the community is telling us. So as opposed to like boasting about new features, maps, modes for tanks, the mindset is different now. It's about fixing the things that are the most unpopular in the community and taking the game back to, kind of where it was before we started tinkering with it too much. So it's kind of like a maintenance task at the moment, and that will keep them busy. So it's unlikely there are any, even if we had the guy here that totally knew what the new features, you wouldn't really find anything that, is kind of like, wow. It's more like tweaking, balancing, improving. That's kind of where we're at with tanks.